Welcome to another trip down the Bourbon Road with your hosts, Jim and Mike. So grab a glass of your favorite bourbon and kick back.
Well, you know who likes to give back to their community is one of our sponsors, Jim. Chris Cruz from Cruz Customs Flags. He does custom flags out of bourbon barrels. Not only does he do that, but he's also using veterans to build those flags with. I've got one right behind me, Jim. I know you got one on your bar. Beautifully handcrafted, repurposing a bourbon barrel, not throwing it away, not making it into smoking chips, making a piece of Americana, right?
It's something that'll last probably quite a few years longer than a bourbon barrel would, right?
Not only that, but he's using veterans to build those pieces of art with. You know, you got to love that. But he's also giving back to his community at all times, helping veterans out like ourselves. He is really in tune to that. Go check his site out, cruzcustomsflags.com. You can buy his flags on there, key holders. Heck, Jim's got some these neat little cups that are charred inside, made out of oak, that you can put a cocktail in.
They call those the Whiskey Grail, don't they?
Yeah, that is. It kind of reminds you of, when you think of a grail, but truly a whiskey grail right there. Go check those out at Cruz Customs Flags. Purchase from this guy, veteran owned, veteran operated, making a veteran built product.
Hello, everybody. I'm Jim Shannon.
And I'm Mike Hyatt.
This is the Bourbon Road. And today, Mike, it's another Craft Distillery Monday. We've got, daggone it, we got another big boy on today.
Yeah, but this is kind of finishing up something we started. So, it's something we kind of have to do because these just came out. So, what's that old saying? There's a saying about starting something.
Finish what you started. And, so this is the second installment in our series on the new Jack Daniel's Bonded series that came out. And, Mike, what do we have in our glass today?
So this is the Jack Daniel's Triple Mash. It's got 3 different mash bills, as the name says. The first mash bill is at 60% of the whiskey. It's Jack Daniel's Tennessee Rye, 70% rye, 18% corn, and 12% malted barley. Then we got 20% of Jack Daniel's Tennessee whiskey, which is 80% corn, 12% rye, and 8% malted barley. And then another 20% of Jack Daniel's American Malt, which is 100% American malt. Now, this is $33 on the shelf. Non-age stated, but we know because it has that bonded in there, it's at least 40 years old, right, Jim? This is 100 proof in a 700 milliliter bottle.
Yeah, it's absolutely right, Mike. So if it's bonded, each one of these components have to be at least 4 years old, and they all have to be 100 proof when it's all finished and said and done. I'm kind of surprised that the number one component, the 60% component's rye.
I knew you'd love that. Well, Jim, I actually got this down in Tennessee. I went down there, took my family down there. I stopped in a liquor store me and you had been in before, Wendell Smith Liquors, owned by Cowden Clark. They've been open since 1946, Jim. That's 76 years of business. If you're in the Nashville area, very fair prices. I thought spot on this. I think I paid $35 with taxes and everything. That's spot on the price. Fair price. He's got some great liquors in there. Stop by and pay Wendell Smith Liquors a visit. You won't be disappointed.
Well, it's definitely nice to see another installment out of Jack Daniel's. A lot like some other distilleries out there, Jack Daniel's has been kind of pushed by the craft movement to kind of do something new and to introduce some new whiskeys and to change up their lineup just a little bit. I'm glad to see they're doing this. The one thing that gets me is, boy, in order for this to be a bonded, all 3 of those mash bills have to be in the same distilling season. Wow. They did it, though. They pulled it off. 3 different mash bills, same master distiller, same distilling season, all 4 years old. I have to say that's quite a feat to pull off and still get a blend out of it. That's pretty neat.
Yeah, that's tough. That's tough road to hoe. Keep your master distiller going and Hats off to them that they're trying something new, that they're trying to put some craft stuff out there. And they've kind of teased us over the years, Jim, with different little releases here and there. Those little taster bottles they had, they got their single barrel program. So it's nice to see them dabbling in that craft and coming out with these right here. And these are becoming pretty highly sought after too.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited to try it. I mean, this is definitely stepping out of the box, Mike. There's no doubt about it. I mean, taking a rye and a Tennessee whiskey and a single malt and mixing the three together and trying to make something new and exciting out of it, I think it's great. And for them to hold that all within the Bottle and Bond Act and try to keep things on the up and up, 4 years old, 100 proof, single distilling season, I think it's awesome. I think it's great. I'm ready to try this. I'm ready to check it out. And I have a little bit of optimism about this. I think it might be something pretty exciting and new.
Do you think this is something that we might see from other distilleries coming down the road as more blends like this that are several different whiskeys blended together?
I mean, we've seen a little bit of it, certainly like the High West Boo Rye. Where they're mixing the bourbon and rye. We've seen that before. It's not real standard. It's not happening a lot. But when a company like Jack Daniel's starts doing it, literally somebody who's putting out more bottles than anybody else, you got to pay attention, right?
Well, what would you call this? You can't call it a Boo Rye, right? Because it's not a bourbon. It's a Tennessee whiskey in a rye. 10 rye?
10 rye. This is a 10 rye malt.
10 rye malt. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Well, Jim, let's nose this sucker.
Let's check it out.
I'm getting some of that Southern sweet tea on this.
Yeah, I think so. It's interesting that it's not. It doesn't smell like anything out of the ordinary. It definitely has some fruits on it, though. But the cedar notes from the rye come through a little bit.
Yeah, I could get that a little bit of juniper in there.
Yep.
I'd put that cedar mulch around my house when you walk outside now because of the heat. You smell that cedar, and I get that same aroma in this glass right here.
Yeah, it's got that Christmassy smell to it. I feel like this is for a rye drinker. This would be something that's very pleasing, very acceptable. Kind of a fruity. You mentioned tea. Kind of a fruity tea with a little bit of Christmas spice. It definitely doesn't smell like any Jack Daniels I've had to my nose before.
Yeah, it's super sweet smelling. You said fruit. I'm getting a little bit of cherry on there. Maybe cherry cola from this. Yeah. A little bit of that. Very beautiful nose on this. Well, heck, Jim, cheers.
Oh, wow. That's very sweet. Not like overly sweet, but very, cherry cola. I think you hit it on the nose.
Yeah, I think I get a little bit of that. There's these little cakes that I'm not supposed to eat. They're called zingers, and they're like red raspberry, almost like a little Debbie cake, but it's red raspberry with like coconut on there. Maybe a little toasted coconut on that red raspberry. Them zingers, definitely in this glass right here.
Didn't they make like a half round cake like that called a snowball or something before?
Oh yeah, the pink. That's the pink one though.
The pink one, yeah. It definitely has a nice sweet note to it. I'm surprised it is so sweet, but it's sweet and rich at the same time. You still got a little bit of that Jack Daniel's banana in it, though.
I'm getting this little tingly note. I'm not sure what that is. It's like it's not spicy. It's tingly on your tongue.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that tingliness. It is got a little bit of that pop rocks we like to talk about every now and then because I think it's coming from that rye. But this is fruitier. There's no doubt about it. This is fruitier than their standard offering. I think a lot of that is coming from the malt, but I am getting that cinnamon, that little bit on the back end, that kind of cinnamon bite.
Is there such thing as a cinnamon cherry cola that fizzle you get from a cola anyways is on there? Like you said, that little, just that, maybe it is the pop rocks. It's just like, that fizzle, a little fizzle.
if they did make a cinnamon cherry cola, I'd be first in line to try it. That's for sure.
we better put a patent on that.
Mike, I have to say, I like this.
Yeah, I gotta say, there's a lot of oak in there for what I thought it was going to be. It's kind of oaky on the finish there. Really rich, that goes nice. I don't know. I want to say woody on that.
Yeah, it's definitely got it's bringing both the charred components of the oak as well as the actual woody or the kind of the new oak flavor that comes from it. So it's hitting both those points. 4 years old, 3 different mash bill components in it. It's got a lot going on. I think we could probably sit here and analyze this for a while and keep picking out notes. But, kind of sum it up, I would say it's definitely, a fruity, spicy, with a cinnamon punch on the back end. And it does have those baking spices, though. It definitely does still have those baking spices. And just ever so lightly underneath, it's got that hint of banana that pops out.
This definitely sticks with you, and that finish on there, I would say, is a medium to long, and which is surprising me. We usually don't give that medium to long to much, but this one kind of sticks around there. It almost opens up the palate with that sizzle.
Yeah, the more I sip on it, the more that cinnamon is pronounced on the finish, and like you said, it sort of hangs with you. I feel like this whiskey right here is something that is going to make an impression on a lot of people. It's something that they're going to try certainly more than once. It's different. It's new. It's kind of exciting. It is a little out of the ordinary mixing those 3 together, I have to say, but it's definitely well crafted.
Well, to me, it's just super fascinating that Jack Daniel's decided to go this route. I like it. I like it actually more than I like the Bonded. And Jim, you know what happened to that bottle of Bonded down by the fire? It disappeared quite quickly, and I see this bottle going just as fast.
Yeah, so we kind of knew that would happen. Mike, you and I both had a very positive review on their Bonded. That it's definitely something. I think both these bottles are something that's going to raise Jack Daniel's up a little bit across the board with all the bourbon drinkers. This one in particular is setting the bar pretty high. I have to say that this is something that has caught my eye. Now it's caught my palate. I don't have a bottle on my own bar, and I'm probably going to get one real soon.
Yeah, I was surprised to see it down there. I walked into the store just to kind of peruse a minute, and first thing I saw was that, and I grabbed it, and I was like, oh, man, I've seen this. We'll better try this out first. But I wish I would have grabbed 2 of them for that price. A fair price by Jack Daniel's. Like I said, $33. Can you beat that really for this? Now, a lot of people are harping on Jack Daniel's for the 700 milliliter, but we talked about that before, Jim, that it just makes sense, right?
Well, I mean, from a business perspective, from a global business perspective, right? I mean, we here in the U.S. are the only people that are using 750 milliliter bottles. So all these distilleries have got to produce that are producing for worldwide audiences are producing 700 milliliter and 750 milliliter bottles in order to take care of both markets. With glassware being as hard as it is to find today, and with things going sort of in a more global economy, I would say it's the right move. As long as the price is adjusted accordingly, I think it's fine.
Yeah, I'd say you're spot on that, Jim. And I think consumers really won't notice. Maybe your average, not your average, your whiskey nerd is going to notice, but your average whiskey drinker, they're still going to grab the bottle. They're still going to go for it. For me, this is a buy again. I'll buy it again. I like it. They stepped out of the box, hit a home run for me. I'm giving it a thumbs up, Jim.
Yeah, I think I'll give it a thumbs up too, Mike. I won't waste a whole lot of time getting myself a bottle of this and adding it to my bar because this is interesting. It's something that is definitely worth a conversation, and it's worth a few evenings on the patio sipping on and thinking about. I definitely would like to explore it a little bit more than just a short craft distillery episode, and looking forward to getting my bottle and trying that. Speaking again about the 700 mils, I think I mentioned to you before, Stella's been putting out an 11-ounce beer bottle for a while, and I don't think a whole lot of people even noticed that. So I'm not sure they're going to notice the 700 mil whiskey bottle.
Probably not. Well, Jim, another great review. Always look forward to these whenever we get to crack a new bottle open and get to try it for the first time. It's always exciting. It's like almost Christmas morning for whiskey drinkers for us.
Yeah, we do enjoy it. I have to say, we've got a pretty good gig. No doubt about it.
Yeah.
All right. So, Mike, where can people find us on the internet?
Well, you can find us on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, all over the place, really. But the main place you can find us is on our Facebook group, the Bourbon Roadies. You want to enter, got to be 21. Got to love bourbon. Hell, everybody likes bourbon, right, Jim? And you got to agree to play nice because we don't tolerate any rudeness in our group.
That's right. We do 2 shows every week. We'll do a short episode every Monday, like today's. We call it our craft distillery episode. We'll go about 15 or 20 minutes. We'll focus on one expression from a distillery. Let you fellas and gals know whether or not we think you ought to add it to your bar. This week, I'm going to say thumbs up. You need to add this one to your bar for $33. It's not a bad purchase. I would say give it a try. Jack Daniel's Triple Mash is definitely something you want to have on your bar. And while you're at it, go ahead and get a bottle of that bonded as well. I think you won't be sad. Every Wednesday, we do a full-length episode, about an hour in length, 2 30-minute halves. We'll have a guest on. We'll have several bottles on. Mike and I will deep dive a subject. We'll give you 30 minutes on the front end, 30 minutes on the back end, get you to work, get you home. Every week, 2 episodes. We'd love to have you listen to both. Mike, how can they be sure not to miss a single episode?
What you want to do is scroll up on that app, hit that check sign, that plus sign, that subscribe sign. The app will tell you, hey, these 2 jokers just had an episode released, and you're going to want to listen to it. Then you're going to want to scroll on down. You know what I'm about to say. If you don't leave us that 5-star review and some comments, the big bad booty daddy of bourbon is going to come to your house dragging this Jack Daniel's Triple Mash. Hell, he'll even bring the bonded with him. You'll drink it all night long. By the end of the night, you'll leave us that 5-star review in the comments. But seriously, those 5-star reviews, those comments open up distilleries to us, gets great whiskey in our hands like this Jack Daniel's Triple Mash. Helps us get on down the bourbon road.
Well, Mike and I are very approachable. If you see us in a liquor store, if you see us at an event, make sure you walk up to us and introduce yourself. We'd love to meet you. And in the meantime, feel free to hop on our website, go to that Contact Us page, shoot us a message, let us know what you think about the show. If you've got an idea for a new show, if you've got an idea for a guest, if you've got a small distillery in your hometown that's kicking it, and you want us to know about it, make sure you let Mike and I know. We'll get in touch with them. We'll get a bottle, and we'll make a review of it. You can also reach out to us by email. I'm Jim at thebourbonroad.com. He's Mike at thebourbonroad.com. But like we always say, probably the best way, hit up our DMs on Instagram. I'm Jay Shannon63.
I'm Big Bourbon Chief.
And we'll see you down
the Bourbon Road.